Folks, 3 years ago, I went to a conference down in New Orleans, and this was a petroleum engineering conference. My friend came up to me and said, Nikita, there's this man you have to meet because you know this guy. He was right, I did know this guy. This man took a business that was worth nothing and made it into a multi-million-dollar company. So as I got to know this fellow, we got friendly. He was a really nice guy. By the end of the conversation, I decided to ask him, I said, sir, you must be so proud of your success. You did something that a lot of men have tried to do, but most of the guys couldn't do it. I asked him, would you be willing to give me some advice on your success and how you got that success? He looked at his glass of scotch, he put it down on the table. He looked at me and said, Nikita, take a seat. So I sat down. This man said, Sonny, let me tell you something about my success. Ever since high school, I've dreamed about making it big. I always knew I was going to be a businessman. I was going to be a businessman, open my business, and make it big. Ever since high school, I knew whatever unique way I would take towards business, that I would succeed. And the whole world would know that I did it. You see, right after I graduated college, I married my college sweetheart. Right afterwards, I went to toil day and night on my dream. I chipped away at the walls that held me away from my dream. My sweetheart would tell me, honey, I wish you would spend some more time with me. To which I would reply, I'm doing this for you, sweetheart. My first and second sons were born. I wasn't there for their birth. You see, I was busy opening new offices in the United States. I was busy directing new people at my company to be there. I am now. I never knew my children. Why? Because when they were young, I wasn't around. I do have grandchildren, but because I was young, because I never got to know my children, they see no reason to bring the grandchildren around anyways. I'm 70 years old, and my wife, she left me 25 years ago. You know, it was a shock to me when she left me. I didn't think that she would. And I thought I gave her every single material possession that she could ever want in her life. But you see, I made a mistake. The mistake was, I gave her what I thought that she wanted. I'm now 70 years old. I have nothing else to prove in my life. If I were to live my life over again, if I had a second chance at life, I would first find out the things that were important to me in my life, and then build my life around those things, instead of focusing on things that were supposed to be important to me as dictated by society and other people. But you see, I dealt my own cards, and now I'm left to play them myself. This story had a deep meaning for me. It really stuck with me. It taught me a very important lesson in life after that night. That lesson was values. Values are important traits. They are warrior codes, so to speak, that we have. But a lot of times we as people, we don't have values that we identify in ourselves. You see, values are the foundation in life. They are the foundation that your life is built around on. They are the foundation on which your experience is built around on. Some examples of values can be respect, they can be honesty, they can be the appeal to be close to your family, to your parents, to your kids. They can be the values of keeping your body in athletic shape throughout your life. They can also be to keep your mind sharp and at peace. Now, it's important that you write down your values and you identify them, because if you don't, we are bombarded with television, radio, newspapers, and other people will make values for you. It is essentially important as well to take your dreams, for those that have dreams and for those that write down their dreams, and align them with your values. Now, why is that important? If you complete a dream without aligning it with your values, you're going to get a feeling of emptiness after you complete that. If you complete a dream that's aligned with the values that you believe in, you get a feeling of accomplishment. So, how do you make these values? Who should you take them from? You can take them from role models, but there's really no specific values anybody can give you. Who am I to say what values you should have? Only you have the right to say that. But there's a little rule that you can follow. When you create your values, think of another person that would have the same exact values as you. If that person was to come up to you and interact with you, would you want to get to know that person? If the answer is yes, you're probably on the right track with your values. In the end, I encourage every single one of you to sit down with yourself and find out what is important in your life. And not just find out and keep it in the mind, because you'll forget it, but write it down. Write it down and review it weekly so that your actions can reflect the values that you have inside of you. And your actions will make you a little bit more happier in the future.